皆さん、英語のソータです。
And I'm Reilly.
Hey, we finally finished all the events. So first of all, we need to say thank you to everybody who attended our events. Tokyo.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. A big thank you. And Reilly.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, like Tokyo people, Tokyo friends, let me say that. Tokyo friends, Fukuoka friends, Nagoya friends, Sendai friends, and Osaka friends. Did I not miss any?
You got them all.
Okay. Yes, a big thank you to everybody. And also people who couldn't join this time, I appreciate your support all the time. So next year we will be back again. So I hope we can see you guys there.
With the theme, we're back again.
Yes. いつまでバック引きずるんやっていう感じですけれども、皆さん、この場をお借りして、イベントがもうすべて終わりまして、お越しくださった皆さん、本当にありがとうございました。僕はもちろん、ライリーも本当にさっきも楽しかったっていうお話をね、
Yeah, it was fun, yeah.
してまして、いろいろ、皆さんからいただいたものがあるなと思います。そして、お越しになれなかった方も、またお会いできる機会があると思いますので、また来年以降お会いできることを楽しみにしております。Okay, so Reilly, are you ready?
Yep.
ソータと
Reillyの台本なし英会話レッスン Episode 258.
Okay, what is the topic for episode 258, Reilly?
It is, what does it mean to be a nice person?
はい、今回のお題は、優しい人とはです。もうすぐ英語で切り替えていきたいんですけれども、今のこのモードでしかちょっと作れないエピソードだなと思いまして、ちょっと僕が今回、提案させていただいたお題です。で、僕自身もまだぼんやりのアイディアなのと、ライリーとさっき、これはどういうお題みたいなやり取りをしてた時も、ちょっとまだこれ決まらないと思うから、とにかく話そうっていう感じで、今ここにいます。So maybe you still don't get the real meaning of this topic is I just brought it up very suddenly, and then I said let's talk about nice people or kind people. So first of all, right, Reilly?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand what the question is. It'll be interesting to see what we end up talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think one of the reasons why I decided or why I came up with this topic is because of you guys. Like we got a lot of love and kindness and positivity at all the events.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Yeah, now my heart and maybe Riley's heart as well, at least my heart is full of love of everybody. So
yeah.
And at the same time, like a lot of people helped us, like Shota or a lot of people anyways. So,
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Now I really feel like people are so nice and the people are so kind. Then I wanted to put this idea into this topic, then I wanted to talk about this. So for me, like when I feel this person is really kind or nice, or let's say kind, when I feel this person is really kind is sorry, somebody came. Wait a second.
Okay.
すいません。玄関に4階の上に置いてもらってもいいですか？すいません。Sorry, guys, I'm back. A nice person came, like with a good gift, I guess. Like, he said Amazon. Yes. Anyways, when I feel, this person is really kind, is when I think this person is a kind of giver. For example, like Shota, who helped us, or who helped us to set up everything for the events. He was a kind of giver. Because in Osaka first, he helped us. Then, he was doing a lot of things. And then after that, I kind of said, oh, if you were in Tokyo, that would be nice, but I know you're busy, so you can't. I thought he can come, but he said,
Mm,
no, I can do it. And when it's that, then he was there. And I think he doesn't really care, what he wants in return. What he
mm,
gets or what he wants in return. He doesn't really care. So it's just an example, but I feel, this type of giver is the person who makes me feel the person is really kind or nice. So yeah, first of all, let's talk about it. Like to
yeah.
you, like when do you feel people are really nice and kind?
Yeah, I think you basically got to the heart of it. It's people are kind people are people who do things for the benefit of other people without concern for their own reward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then can you choose the exact person who is around you?
Um, yeah, I think my mom
Mm-hmm.
is one of those kinds of people. I mean, like I think all moms are. I think the kind of what could you call it? The archetype of a mom
Mm.
is somebody who cares for her kids and potentially also for her husband, without really caring about herself. Moms will sacrifice time and energy for their kids. Moms will feed their kids before they feed themselves, and all these things. I think like a mom is a kind person.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Kind of unconditional love.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. The unconditionality of
う
it.
ん、うん、うん、うん。確かに。ちょっと一回訳しましょうかね。今日ちょっとタイピング少なめでできればなと思うんですけれど
Oh,
も。
really? I'm using a lot of big words this time, but
Really?
okay.
Okay, okay. Then let's
I
do it.
mean,
やろう。いや、いっぱい話した方がいいかなと思って。
maybe it's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, rewards とか、あとは unconditional,
Yeah. I said archetype.
archetype, そういう型。ね、よくあるタイプ。mom、お母さんといえばもうそういう、もうよくあるパターンだよねっていう、archetype とかですかね。あとはまあ、benefits, in return, 見返りにとか。今日はちょっとタイピングしないモードで喋ってたので、漏れてるものもあるかもですけど、まず僕がこのトピック今回選んだのが、なんかいろんな方の優しさに触れて、今僕の心はもう人の優しさでいっぱいなんですね。で、どういう人がこうやっぱ優しいって感じるんだろうっていうのを、そのアメリカ人とか世界の人にも基準って一緒なのかなって、もちろん一緒だとは思うんですけど、なんか違うところもあるんじゃないかなとも思って、外国人にとってのいい人、日本人にとってのいい人ってどういうところなんだろうっていうのを話してみたかったのが今回の理由です。で、僕が、すごくこの人優しいなって思う時っていうのは、こう、自分の利益よりも、他者へ喜ばせること、他者への利益を主に考えられている人、イコール、まあ、ギバーと名付けましたが、その比率が他者に向いてれば向いてるほど、この人ってすごいな、優しいなって、僕は尊敬ができるんですね。で、ちょっと具体的なお話も入れた方が分かりやすいと思いまして、翔太っていう名前が出ましたけれども、もう、翔太が今僕大好き、もともと好きなんですけど、大好きになったんですが、イベントでね、大阪、東京をサポートしてくれた友人なんですけれども、もうね、人のためにすごく動いてくれる子で、彼がいなかったらちょっとイベント回ってなかっただろうなと思うぐらい、パッパッパッパッパッパ動いてくれて、で、どんな時も疲れてないしんどないって聞いても、楽しい、めっちゃ良かったわって、どんな時もなんかこう、人のためにやってることが多分楽しいって思えてる子なんですよね。で、大阪のイベントで、100人規模なので、ちょっと助けてくれへんって言って、助けてもらったんですけど、本当に助かって、東京のイベントが2週間後にあるってなった時に、翔太が東京ってくれたらな、助かんねんけどな、でも忙しいの知ってるからって、本当にそれはわざと言ったとかじゃなく、もう絶対無理だろうなと思って、でも行っててほしいわって言ったら、行くでいつってなって、もうその見返りとか求めず、 朝早くから朝一からほぼ始発に乗って東京に来てくれて、で東京イベント参加された方もね、わかると思うんですけども、ポンポンポンポン動いてくれて、彼がいないと回らないだろうなっていうぐらいのサポート力だったんですよね。なので、僕のイメージとしてはそうやって誰かのために頑張れる人って、本当にこう、優しいなって思えるというお話をしました。で、ライリーにとってはっていう質問だったんですけど、同じ、こう、ベネフィットをそんなに考えずっていう、まあ、同じ回答が出てて、その例として、よくあるハマる方っていうのがお母さんだよねっていう旦那さんのためだったりとか、子供のために unconditional っていうのは無償の愛を注げて、rewards、こう見返り、報酬を in return っていうのは後ろにつけることで、見返りにとかっていう言葉ですけど、そういうのを求めず、ね、考えられる人だと。Like, can you come up with another example that, I mean, of the person who makes you feel, oh, he or she is nice or kind? To you personally.
Yeah, let me think. Who's a nice person in my life? I think, um, yeah, I have
Should,
like a
should I speak first?
coworker.
Oh, coworker. Okay.
Coworker. So he speaks English and Japanese. And he is, I guess, he's he's in charge of like office staff, whatever, doing administrative stuff at work. But he also helps like all the foreigners when they have some kind of form or something they need to fill out, like if they need to go to City Hall or if they need to do something with the bank or if they need to do any of this kind of stuff. He always helps. Even like, looking for an apartment. He's helped a lot of my coworkers find apartments and things like that. And he doesn't need to do that, right? That's not part of his job. Maybe the visa stuff is kind of related to his job, but like helping people find an apartment or helping them figure out the bank or whatever, go, maybe even go shopping for a bed or something, a cell phone or whatever, to talk to those kind of people. He's helped a lot of my coworkers to do that, and just kind of out of the goodness of his heart, I guess. Like he really doesn't have to. And a lot of the time, those kind of things are really annoying and frustrating and take a long time, especially if you have to talk to like the bank or so the city hall or something like that. Those things take forever. But yeah, he does it just because he knows that without his help, a lot of us foreigners would be in trouble.
So maybe generally people who could help, with anything, that actually doesn't matter to them, could be a nice person, or it could be nice people to you.
What do you mean doesn't matter to them?
Oh, I mean, like, that's not their business, or they don't need to do it. So,
Right. It's not like their duty or their responsibility, but they do it anyway.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
who could help with anything over their responsibility or over their, what could be the good word, tasks or
It probably responsibility works, I think.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of person. I really understand. 確かにね、こう、自分、なんかちょっと日本語でも難しいけど、自分の役割じゃないところの部分まで、こう、やってあげれる人。まあ、つまり、そうですよね。それも多分ギバーなんだと思うんですけど、見返りも求めず、この人が本当に困ってるからこれをやってあげようっていう、そのタスク以外の部分でも、こう、やってくれる人ですよね。で、その例としてあったのが、is he Japanese?
Yes.
日本人のそのcoworkerで、外国人スタッフの、フォーム、これ、申し込みフォームとかのフォーム、fill out で書くっていう意味ですね。全部埋めて fill out。もう、記入事項を全部 fill out。埋めるっていうことですよね。あとはシティホール、市役所に出さないといけない、こう書くやつとかを助けてくれたり、銀行を探してくれたり、住むアパートメント探してくれたりっていう、その自分のもうタスクとか責任を超えて やってくれるっていう、本来やらないといけないところを超えてやってくれる人がいて、まあ、そういう人を見たらまた優しいなと思うと。なので、こんな感じで今日は、優しい人のお話をすることで、自分もなんか、もっとそうやってなりたいなって思えるんじゃないかなと思ったと同時に、それをこうやって世に発信することで、私も誰かに優しくしようって思ってもらえると、僕はよくいつもラジオとかで言う、ここで言うね、こう優しい世界をコミュニケーションを使って作れたらな、みたいなところにたどり着くのかなと思って今このお話をしてますね。他なんか僕が思うのがさ、people who who could be the first person who can help somebody, for example, on the street or in the audience or anywhere, are really nice to me. For example, especially in Japan, that happens. Even though they want to help somebody, I don't know, or perhaps they might not even notice those people in trouble. But for example, somebody is having trouble, then other people want to help them. But like in Japan, people care about, how others think. Then they kind of hesitate to say, "Oh, are you okay?" or "Can I help you?" And that happens anywhere, everywhere, in companies or in the audience, like at the events. Let's say, for example, I'm not sure if that happens, but anywhere.
Right.
So I also want to be the person who can say, "Oh, I can help you," without thinking about anything else or how people think.
Yeah.
Mm.
I actually think like in Japan, that kind of stuff is a little bit less common than it is in America, I
Oh,
would
really?
say. Yeah, I think so. I think
Oh, you mean helping people?
helping people, yeah, I guess so. This kind of like small acts of kindness, I guess you could say. I mean, major things, I'm not sure. I don't have too much experience with like, saving someone from a burning building or, something major like that. But little things like in Japan, people kind of rare, especially big cities, they don't necessarily hold the door open for other people. That's kind of uncommon.
Yeah.
Especially like on trains, the priority seats. People don't always get up for other people when they sit in them. Like I was just on I think it was an airport bus going from the plane to the actual like airport gate. So it was pretty crowded. And people had bags and stuff. And somebody was actually here, let me start this over. So it wasn't that crowded at first. Like there were like 3 buses. I got on the last bus and it was crowded enough that most of the seats were taken, but nobody was standing yet. So actually I sat in a priority seat, right? There was like 2 other people sitting in them. Also I think both men, maybe around 40 or something like that. So I sat there too. And then a mom and her 3 kids came on the bus. Right. So I stood up because I felt kind of bad. I'm like, oh, I'm sitting in a priority seat. I should stand up for the mom and the kids. But the other 2 men didn't move. So only one kid got to sit. And in New York, that would probably not happen. If it's a crowded subway train and you're sitting down and there are people like a mom or kids who come on the train, people will stand up and let them sit. Absolutely. Like it's very common. And even sometimes this is where the kind of New York thing comes in. Sometimes people will tell people who are sitting down, hey, you should stand up for them. You should give them your seat. That kind of thing happens. But in Japan, it's not so common, I think.
Yeah, I did that in the past and I decided not to do it anymore because it's so weird in Japan. And then,
you think it's weird to give your seat to someone in Japan?
Oh, no. To say stand up.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Especially in Japan, that's kind of worse to do that. And that was so weird to me at the time. So I try not to say, stand up. But yeah, anyways, I really understand it. I can imagine that. And I think Japanese are really, kind. I want to believe that. Like in their heart, they're kind and nice, but they don't look so.
I
Um,
think I think it's not like we can't say that the people in this country are all kind, right? Obviously, we can't say that.
mm, mm,
That's kind of obviously it's a nice thing to say, but it's not
yeah,
fair to say everyone in the country is kind. There's
yeah.
yeah.
But for example, when we when we were promoting Tokyo Olympics, like one of the
Hmm.
reasons we got the venue right was the host said that Japan is a safe country, and then where people are really nice. For example, like when somebody lost their wallet or even dropped it, like a lot of Japanese people say, "Oh, hey, this is yours," and people don't steal it. So like this, I think I want to believe, of course, not all of them, but a lot of Japanese are really nice and kind and
Hmm.
kind of safe. That's why Japan is kind of safe. But on the other hand, as you said, we don't show the love or kindness, directly to others. That's why, even if they want to help somebody, kind of they hesitate. And if there are a lot of people looking at you, then they don't sometimes. And another problem is, yeah, as you said, people don't see in public, in that case, like opening the doors for others. I think, yeah, in the previous episode or in the former episode, we said in New York, people were, playing music on the train, but in Japan, we turned the volume down or we set the. So what I
Yeah.
mean is, people tend to say that's a kind of New York thing, and Japanese tend to care about others, but sometimes they don't look so, because people don't help others in public, sometimes opening doors or giving seats.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of it has to do with like kind of the societal expectations, right? The kind of unwritten rules in
mm,
in the society. I think obviously it's been said a lot of times Japanese people are really good at following rules in
mm,
general,
mm.
right? But sometimes if there is a rule that it's kind of okay to break,
Mm.
for example, like taking umbrellas, it's like if somebody takes your umbrella from the umbrella thing at a
Mm.
store or something, it's almost okay for you to take someone else's umbrella.
In Japan?
Yeah. Of
That
course it's not
depends.
okay. Yeah, of course
uh,
it's not okay, but
uh,
people do it because it's kind of accepted as, oh, sometimes umbrellas get stolen. So it's like an
um,
almost normal thing to do. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying you should do that, obviously,
mm,
but like it happens because that's a rule that people have decided is kind of okay to break.
mm,
Like sitting in priority seats on a train. You're not supposed to do that if you are an able-bodied man. But people do it, and not it's not okay, but it's kind of an acceptable rule to break. Do you know what I mean?
mm. Then what's your point? Like Japanese are or Americans are? What?
I
What?
think
Mm,
I think often the one thing that makes a kind person or a nice person is going above these kind of expectations of what you should do and doing, even more,
oh,
right?
so you mean Japanese are too nice? Like even when their umbrellas got stolen?
No, I don't mean that. I mean
What do you mean?
that I mean that there are Japanese society has a lot of rules, right? A lot of things that and people tend to follow them. There are
Mm,
some things that they break though.
mm,
And so like a person on a train who is sitting down, it's kind of rare in Japan for someone to stand up. But that is kind of a nice thing to do because people don't always expect it. Like it's more than what is expected is being nice, right? Like um holding holding the door open for someone is maybe kind of expected in America. It's kind of something you are supposed to do.
mm.
But in Japan it's not. So maybe doing it is kind of a little bit nicer. Um I'm maybe not explaining this super well, but I think that the gap between what is expected, what are the rules, and the kind of kind things that you do, that doing something nice for someone, that's where kindness is. It's in that gap between the expectations and what you do.
So you were talking about the kind of definition of yours, like what kindness is or what nice people are. And then
by the end I got there, yeah.
So maybe your point is, I said, Japanese are sometimes, Japanese are nice, I think nice, but they don't look so. But you feel like they accept, for example, the fact their umbrellas got stolen, and they accept that. It's like this, people tend to accept the things above the rules. Then there is, another type of kindness there.
So like I think basically, let's say there
ちょっと
is
一回訳していい? Can I translate first? 一回訳して大丈夫? Is that okay?
Okay. Let me just get this out. This will be quick. So let's say like if you're waiting in line, of course, like you're expected to wait nicely in the line to not cut the line. So you're not a nice person if you just wait in the line. You're just following the rules, right? But if you see, I don't know, an elderly person who maybe can't stand up for a long time, but they have to wait in the line, if you let them come in front of you because you know that they will have a hard time waiting, then that's being kind, because you're not expected to let an old person go in front of you in line, but you do it because, you see that they maybe need help in some way.
Yeah.
So like that difference between what you are supposed to do and what you do to be kind, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah. So you were talking about another example of definition of kindness.
Yeah, just expanding on the definition I said earlier. Yeah.
なるほどね。OK, OK. わかりました。そうですよね。なんか、次、もともとどっから始まってたかな。そうそう。僕がまた違う優しさだなって思っていたり、あるいは僕がそうでありたいなと思うのが、I was the first person、あるいは he is the first person。何々をする、真っ先に何々する人みたいな。he's the first person who なんとかとかなんですけど、それで言ってたのが、真っ先に困ってる人がいたら、もう何にも気にせず助けるっていうのをしてあげれる人っていうのが僕優しいな、ナイスだなと思うんですよね。で、日本って結構助けてあげたいなと思っても、周りの目を見て助けてあげれない、あるいは助けてあげない人たちも多いと思うんですよ。で、この感覚っていうのは、ライリーがさっき、いや、僕日本人は優しいと思うんですけどって言った時にライリーが、いや、みんな優しいっていうのはありえないよねって言ったっていうことは、やっぱそれだけ日本が優しいっていうふうに全面的に見えてないんだと思うんですよね。でも僕たち、これ日本人にしか分かんない感覚だと思うんですけど、僕たち心の中では助けてあげたいなとか、多分思ってる人多いと思うんですよ。で、結構外国とかだともう自分主義って感じで、周りを見ず、ね、過ごす、そのエピソードが昔もありましたよね。ニューヨークの駅とか電車って自分の好きな音楽かけてたり、好きに過ごしてる人がいる中で、日本って結構周りを見て、周りに失礼にならないために、ナイスでいてたりすると思うんですよね。そういう、なんか僕たちにしかわかんない心の中の優しさってあると思うんですけど、やっぱり外国人から見ると、そこが外に出てないと、優しいと思ってもらえないと思うんですよ。それが今の会話でも僕出てたなと思うんですよね。つまり僕が言いたいことが、誰か困ってると思ったら、パッて助けてあげるっていう人って優しいなと。逆に日本ってそれが少ないので、なんか冷たく見られがちだよなっていうお話をしてました。で、僕結構、例えば、昨日もあったんですけど、スタバで家族とご飯食べてて、隣の席の人がすごい荷物持ってて、荷物どこに置こうみたいになってて、で、周りの人がもうチラチラ見てるんですよ。でも僕もそういう時、あそこに荷物置き場ありますよ、レジの前にありますよ、とか全然知らない人に例えば話しかけたりするんですよね。でも日本ってこういうのがなんか、 すごい恥ずかしい感覚があると思うんですよ。目立っちゃうっていう。あるいはトイレどこだろうとかって言ってる人に、僕全然知らない人に、あ、トイレあっちにありますよってスタッフさんみたいになる時もあるんですよ。でも、逆の立場になった時に僕が、トイレってどこやろうとかって言ってる時に、日本ってやっぱ助けてくれなかったりするなと。まあ、つまり言いたいことが、心の中にある優しさっていうのを出さないと、やっぱり人にそれって伝わらないよな、それってもったいないよなって思うがゆえに、僕はパッてできる人っていうのが優しい人かなっていう定義として挙げてました。で、ライリーがその後、こう、話の流れで出してくれてたのが、まあ、すべて聞くと、あれですよね、別のタイプの優しさのお話だったんですけど、あ、違う違う。最初にライリーが言ってくれてたのは、日本ってそういうの案外少ないよねって言ってたのが、優先座席で、困ってる人がいたら案外立ってあげないよねとか、あとはドアをこう、後ろの人のために開けてあげないよねとか、あれすごい思うね、僕。そう、もう日本、海外問わず、あれしてくれない人多いよなって思うんですけど、してくれないよねと。まあ、つまり、日本って優しそうに見えて、ちょっとね、そういうところの配慮が欠けちゃうところってあるのかなと。で、まあ、その話の流れで出たので、なんかその具体例かなと思ってたんですけど、多分また違ったお話の形として、人がこれルール守らないといけないよねって思ってるんだけれども、そこを超えて許容してあげる別の優しさの形もあるんじゃないかと。で、それが日本に多いのかアメリカに多いのかとかはちょっとまだわかんないんですけど、ライリーが挙げてたのが、日本って傘盗まれましたってなった時に、結構それは盗まれたとかってなるけれども、心の中でもう傘って雨の日は盗まれても仕方がないよねっていうマインドで、傘を持ってたり、あるいは受け入れてあげる人もいる感じがするっていう、多分そのお話だったと思うんですよね。で、列も、こう、お年寄りが割り込んだら、こう、スルーしてあげる。なんかそういうのもまた別の形の優しさなんじゃないかと。つまりルールはあるんだけれども、ルールを破った時に受け入れてあげる優しさっていうのも、まあ、日米問わずあるんじゃないかみたいな多分お話だったんだと思うんですよね。でもちょっと確認したいのが、So, you think the umbrella example, like
う
you,
ん。
from your perspective, you feel like Japanese are kind of trying to accept, the fact their umbrellas get stolen. And even when that happens, Japanese are kind of, really feeling okay with that. That's what you said.
Um, kind of. I was more talking about why Japanese people steal umbrellas.
ああ、
So often people will take an umbrella from the umbrella rack that's not theirs.
うん、
And I think often the reason is because theirs was stolen,
うん、
right? Or somebody made a mistake and took their umbrella on accident, and now they think, oh, somebody took my umbrella, so I can take an umbrella.
う
I think that's why
ん。
it happens. There's kind of this obviously, it's not okay to take umbrellas, but it's almost acceptable in Japan to do that.
ああ、なるほどね。そっか、じゃあ、優しさの定義とかじゃなく、そうそう、僕も最初はその理解をしてたんだけど、なんか途中から変わってしまったんですけど、そっか、そっちの解釈もあるよね。なんか多分日本って不思議だよねと、こう、傘をまず盗む人がいる。でもそれをなんとなく許容してる感じの雰囲気感が多分彼らにはあるんですよね。僕たち別に傘盗まれて喜んでるわけではもちろんないんですけど、盗む人もいて、盗まれるよねっていう、なんかそういう、空気感っていうのが日本にはあるよねっていう、まあ、例のお話ですよね。Oh, so in America, that never, I know, some people might do that, but kind of that never happens. Umbrella stuff or,
I'm trying to think like I think it's pretty uncommon for stores to have umbrella racks for you to put your umbrella in.
yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
probably because they would be stolen or something. Like I don't know. It's that kind of thing is yeah, not super common in America, but
そうだね。まあでも、確かにアメリカはまあ傘さす習慣なかったり、その傘ラックとかなかったりするから怒ってないっていうのも確かにあるよね。なので、もしあったら、ね、あるかもしれないけど、そうですよね。なんか、なんかここちょっと面白いディスカッションになったなと思うんですけど、こう、別の形のなんか、まあ優しさっていうか、受け入れてる、その日本ならではの空気感、多分あれよな。その、日本って、こう、優しさをオープンにしない、その反面、まあ、いろんな気持ちをオープンにしないがゆえに、こう、 取られてもしゃあないなとか、まあ取られるよなっていう感覚があるっていうところの話もちょっとあるかもしれないんですけど、そうですよね。ここまででちょっといろんなその優しさの形っていうのが出てきたんですけど、how about you? Like, is there something you care about? Like, to not to be a nice person, but not to be, not to be a bad person.
What do you mean care about?
Like, you're always trying to be a giver, or do
Oh,
you have
something I
any,
do.
yeah, do you have any
Um,
mindset?
um, there's nothing in particular that I always try to do or something like that. I mean, I try to be kind to other people. Like, you know, I've I try to hold the door open for people. At work, it happens a lot where um, there will be people like pushing carts full of something. I don't know. They're like, I don't know
Mm,
if they're people who clean the building or whatever their job is, but people will have like carts full of a lot of things.
mm,
Um, I see them a lot, and I often try to hold the door open for them because I know it can be annoying to try to open the door and push the cart and whatever. Um, that's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know why. It's a really
mm.
small thing, but um, I I don't know other ways that I try to be kind.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I understand. It's hard to, think about it because,
Yeah,
we are not doing that on purpose. Sometimes, when somebody is in trouble and then, they're having problem, we simply feel we want to help them. So nothing,
sure.
yeah, to
Yeah.
care about all the time.
Yeah. Is
Just,
there something that you did recently that you can remember helping someone out?
ah, it's hard. Oh, but yeah, that was the example I was talking about in Japanese, like Starbucks stuff. Like somebody
Mm,
was saying, "Oh, where should I put my bags?" And nobody was just everybody was just watching them. But I said, "Oh, there was a kind of rack, like a box right in front of the
rack.
yeah, a rack, yeah, not lack, rack, in front of the cashier counter." I said
Uh-huh.
that, or all the time, like, oh, where is the bathroom in this building? After I hear that, I suddenly talk to them. Oh, there's a bathroom over there. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's so weird in Japan talking
It
to
is
them,
weird. Yeah.
right? そう、これ
Yeah. Yeah.
すごいさ、僕分かってるものはみんなが助けたったらええやんと思うタイプやから言うんですけど、日本ってこの感覚がないので、いきなり話しかけられたことに驚くみたいで、トイレそこにありますよって言っても、なんか、何この人みたいな感じで見られるんですよ。If I talk to them and try to help and say, oh, there's a bathroom over there, they look at me like, oh, what the heck is going on? Or, who is he?
Right. Yeah.
They think like that. But in
Yeah.
America, I think that was the initial thing you were talking about, less common in Japan. In America, people do that a lot, right?
Yeah. And that kind of thing is pretty common. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's been talked about a lot, but there's this kind of social barrier in Japan that
Mm.
is is pretty strong. It's hard to break that barrier with like a stranger or someone, you don't know. In
Well,
America,
no.
that barrier is different. You're allowed to talk to them, but like it would be weird if you said, "Oh, the bathroom's over there. Um, by the way, what are you shopping for?" or something. Like, like when you that then it gets weird, obviously. But like the barrier, one sentence for helping them or whatever is okay, but then like if you go beyond that, then it gets weird. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
確かにね。まあ、なんか日本は本当に突然話しかけられるっていうところの習慣があんまないので、ね、本当に助けという意味でもここにあるよとかって言っても、って思われるのはすごいあるなと思うんですけど、まあアメリカも今ライリーが言ってくれてたように、まあ日本は 話しかける突然っていうところがもう崩せないもう壁だよねと、barrier っていうのは壁っていう意味ありますよね。language barrier とかっていうのと同じように、それタイピングお願いしましょうか
Right.
ね。
Yeah, yeah,
う
yeah.
ん。そう、でもアメリカでももちろん、いきなり話しかけるのは全然 OK だけど、で、何の買い物してたのとかまで、そこまで行くとちょっとってなる人もまあいるけどねっていう今お話でしたよね。なので、まあここまでが、まあ、全部が全部出し切れてないと思うんですけど、僕たちがこう思う優しい人だったり、あるいは、まあ、それを話してるイコール、そうでありたいなって僕は思ってるので、まあ、プラス、ライリーにどういうことをこう心がけているとかあるみたいな質問をして、自分でも聞いて、難しいようなこの回答と思ったんですけど、なんか、優しさってやろうと思ってやることじゃね、ないと思うので、誰かが困ってたら、ふと手を差し伸べてたり、ふとしてる行動だと思うので、確かに、これをやろうとしてるみたいなことは僕も確かにないなとは思いました。難しいですよね。でもなんか心がけとしては誰かがとにかく困ってたら、こう、手を差し伸べるっていうとなんか偉そうなので、声をかけれる人も、なんか周りとか、なんか自分のメリットとか、人の目線とかそういうの気にせずそういうのをできる人で居続けたいなって、すごくそれは思いますかね。あとはなんか、another important thing could be, because I asked you, do you have anything you care about or you try to do to be nice? And I know it's hard to say that because we help people or we are nice to people without, without trying to be that. But I think it could be important, especially for Japanese, to say um that. For example, oh, do you need some help? Or oh, I can do this, or I love you. I can help you.
I
Or
love you. You say that to people in, oh, where's the bathroom? Oh, it's over
no.
there. By the way, I love you.
I know it's weird, but my point is,
It's
to
really weird.
show our love, or for example, like to you, me and you, and me and our listeners, and Riley to our listeners, we can say, we really love you, and then you know it's not about helping, but I know it's not about helping,
I mean,
but
maybe that is. I mean, it's definitely kindness, not like
mm,
I think that's maybe a big difference between Japanese and American culture, right? In Japanese
mm,
culture, it's very rare to say explicitly,
mm,
frankly, I love you,
mm,
right?
mm,
Even I think like family don't say it to each other that much, right?
mm,
Like I think there's a at one of the bars I go to, there's like it's kind of a butsu game. It's like a die that you
mm,
have to roll, right? So it
mm,
has six sides, and on each one of the sides, there's some like punishment, right?
yeah.
And one of them is like say aishiteru to
Mm,
someone,
mm,
and like it's funny that that's a punishment in this game. Like
mm,
I think in America, saying I love you to someone is not like very hard to do.
mm,
Often with my friends, um, will when we cheers, at the beginning of a meal or something when we're eating together, someone will often say a little something like, "Oh, what are we cheersing to?" I go say, "Oh, like to you guys, like, it's the end of the year, you know, like I hope everyone has a happy holidays. I love you guys."
mm,
Like that's
mm,
a pretty common thing to say, like at the beginning of a meal or at the end of a meal, like see you guys, everyone have a good night, love you, or something like that.
mm,
It's
mm.
not like super common. I think like some groups of friends in America maybe don't say it so much. Um, but it's definitely more common in America and in Canada and UK than in Japan.
Mm. And is it like a Japanese sorry or すいません like what I mean is your I love you could be not a special thing sometimes.
That's a good that's a good question. I mean,
うん
後半に続く